The last time man set foot on the moon was in 1972. Because of the high cost of resources, we've never been back. This is holding us back from discovering the key to colonizing Mars and other planets, as well as prohibiting us from gaining precious resources. From a purely technological standpoint, we know we can reach the moon. We also possess the technological advancement to begin building there, enabling the scope and scale of lunar activities to evolve. The only problem is that our methods of reaching the moon have to become more cost-efficient and energy effective to facilitate large-scale operations there. With a budget of around $19 billion for the whole of 2017, NASA hasn't been able to consider the moon as well as Mars, but going to the moon is cheaper than the experts originally thought. The cost of colonizing the moon could even be cheaper than $10 billion, which would change everything.
To dramatically reduce costs, NASA would partner with private and international agencies such as the European Space Agency and SpaceX. Reducing the cost of getting to the moon also depends on the development of reusable spacecraft and lunar landers to get humans and resources to and from the moon. The cost of going to the moon would also be offset by the major economic benefits of mining fuel from the lunar surface. Data found by the Lunar Crater Observation and Sensing Satellite suggests that water in the form of ice may be plentiful on the moon.
The indications are that this response that we got in the radar signature is consistent with ice. And it's exactly the same that we see on other places in the solar system where we know there to be ice.
This water can be broken down into hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen serving as rocket propellant and oxygen helping in the combustion process, as well as providing breathing air.
This would represent a supply of rocket fuel that could be used to help develop the moon or to fuel ships that would eventually go to Mars. So potentially it's a very important discovery.
In the long run, this could shave $10 billion per year in the cost of getting to Mars. Mining the lunar surface would also provide increased energy production from mining helium-3 or collecting solar energy. Looking even farther down the road, the moon would be a great location for launching rockets because of its low gravity. This would reduce the fuel needed by each rocket and therefore reduce costs. Rockets would no longer have to go back down to the Earth to refuel.
The plan is this: 4 astronauts will get to the moon on SpaceX soon-to-be-launched Falcon Heavy, and while they had to take quite a lot of equipment on the first trip, 3D printing could be used to produce pretty much everything else once they get there. The astronauts would probably live on something similar to Bigelow Aerospace inflatable habits. The researchers write, which is radiation resistant and will allow for a range of living areas, as well as easy store and transport. The rest of the food and supplies for the 10 people that couldn't be grown and 3D printed on the moon could be shipped by SpaceX for less than $350 million per year using a reusable Falcon 9 rocket.
The only thing missing in the plan is the technology needed to mine and transport lunar fuel, but this is just a small setback due to our rapid evolving technology in SpaceX's new rocket. A moon base would serve as a first step towards ensuring the long-term survival of the human race. It would allow us to explore and colonize farther reaches of the universe, understand the lunar surface, and expand scientific understanding. Going back to the moon could improve our spaceflight technology, as well as serve as both an economic boost and a unifying venture for the whole of humanity.